All right, and here is the last page. So we are doing 18 through 22. So when we look at this problem, it says to simplify. And what we have here is just a fraction of two polynomials. And the only way to simplify anything on this is to come up with factors that will cancel out. Okay, you can't cancel anything out until we have factors. So we need to know how to factor 2x squared minus 11 plus 5. So if I take that 2, because we have a number out there that is not a 1, we're going to multiply that by the 5. That gives us 10. The factors, that's a positive 10, so we're adding our factors to get negative 11, which means we need negative 1 times negative 11. Okay? And with the 2 out there, we the only two factors that are factors of 2 are 2 and 1. So I'm going to go ahead and set my set of parentheses up here. And the fact that 2x can only go into, this is not 10 here, or 11. This needs to be negative 1 times negative 10. Okay? So if I think about 2 as a possible factor and how that's going to affect these two factors from the 10, 2 only goes into 10. 2 cannot go into 1. So it's got to be 2 times negative 5 to get negative 10. And like I was saying before, the outer terms get matched up and the inner terms get matched up. So since the 2 is my first term, I'm looking for the last term to be negative 5 because those will be matched up to get negative 10. And we have x as a 1x. That's got to be multiplied by a negative 1 so that you get 1 times negative 1 to get negative 10. So when we multiply 2x times negative 5, that's negative 10x. When we multiply negative 1 times x, that is negative 1x. When you put those together, that's our negative 11x. Okay? So let me clean this up because I need the room for my denominator here. But those are the factors for the numerator. Now the denominator, I don't have a number out in front. My coefficient is 1. So all I have to do is worry about the negative 15 and think about what factors of 15 subtract to get negative 2. Well, that would be 3 minus 5. So I can just write out x plus 3 and x minus 5. And I can do that quickly and easily because I don't have a number out in front like I did on in the numerator. Now I look at what factors are in common. Well, I've got x minus 5 on top and x minus 5 on the bottom. And so I end up with 2x minus 1 over x plus 3. And that's it for number 18. For number 19, I need to factor all these out, cancel out any common factors, then I need to multiply. Okay, so I need to know that factoring b squared plus 4b minus 60, all I need to do is worry about the 60, and I subtract the factors. So the factors of 60, let's see, 1 times 60, 2 times 30, 3 times 20, 4 times 15, 5 times 12, 6 times 10, and if I subtract 10 minus 6, because I need to subtract, and 10 minus 6 is 4. So that's a 10 and a negative 6. So I get b plus 10 and b minus 6. Okay, and I'm going to erase this just to give myself some room here. All right, and I'm going to factor b squared minus 4b minus 12. So it's minus 12, so I'm going to take the factors of 12 and subtract to get negative 4. So 1 times 12, 2 times 6, and 3 times 4. Well, 2 minus 6 is negative 4, so that's what I'm going to need. which is going to be b plus 2 and b minus 6. And I'm able to do that quickly because there's no numbers out in front of the b squareds here. Okay, so let's clean this up over here. Let's factor the numerator. B squared plus 9b minus 10. I need to subtract the factors of 10 to get 9. So 10 and negative 1. 10 minus 1 is 9. So that's going to be b plus 10. And then negative 1 gives us b minus 1. Okay? And again, I'm going to clean that up. All right, now that I have all these factored, now I'm looking to cancel out common factors. B plus 10 cancels out with b plus 10. B minus 6 can cancel out with b minus 6. And there's nothing else to cancel out here. So I get b minus 1 in the numerator. And in the denominator, I get b plus 2 times b minus 6. I do not need to multiply those together to show the ultimate outcome. This is good. We've simplified that expression. For number 20, this is a division, and we need to remember the rule of dividing fractions when you're not using a calculator. Well, the rule is to multiply by the reciprocal. And to multiply by the reciprocal, that means I'm going to take a squared plus 6a plus 8 over a plus 4. I'm going to multiply, and I'm going to take this fraction and I'm going to flip it. I'm not going to change anything about it other than the numerator is now the denominator. And so on the top, I'm having 5a cubed plus 20a squared. And in the denominator, I have my a squared minus 4. Now it's just like number 19. Factor everything out, cancel, and then multiply it across. So as I work through a squared plus 6a plus 8, I'm going to get a plus 2 and a plus 6. That's 6, 4. Because 4 times 2 is 8, and 4 plus 2 is 6. Over here, I only have 2 terms, but it's not a special factoring formula. So I see that I have a common factor of 5, and I have a's in both terms, and I have an a squared. So I'm factoring out an a squared. When I factor out 5a squared from 5a cubed, I'm left with an a. When I factor out 5a squared from 20a squared, 20 divided by 5 is 4, so that's going to be plus 4, and the a squared gets factored out. So I have now factored that. I'm left with 5a squared times a plus 4. And the denominator here is a special factoring formula. I get a plus 2 and a minus 2. Okay, in place of the a squared minus 4. Now I look to see what can be canceled out. I've got an a plus 2 on top and bottom. I've got an a plus 4 on top and bottom. And that's it. So the only thing I have left is 5a squared in the a plus 4. And in the denominator, I have a minus 2. And there's my answer. For number 21, I'm adding these. I have completely different denominators. I need common denominator. So the fact that my left side is m minus 3 and my right side is m plus 6, I need to make sure I have both of these included in my denominator. So with the m plus 6, I need to have m minus 3. Since I'm putting an m minus 3 in the denominator, I also need it in the numerator. On the left side, I have the m minus 3, but I don't have the m plus 6. So I'm going to put m plus 6, and I have to put that up on the top. So now I have a common denominator of m plus 6 times m minus 3. And I need to simplify the numerator. Well, I need to distribute these terms in, and I get 6m squared plus 36m, and then positive 4. So 4 times m is positive 4m, and 4 times negative 3 is minus 12. Now I just need to combine like terms. I get 6m squared plus 40m minus 12 over m plus 6 and m minus 3. And if you try to factor this out, I have a common factor of 2. So if I factor that out, I'll get 3m squared plus 20m minus 6. And if I take 3 times negative 6, that is negative 18. I have no factors of 18 that can be subtracted to get 20. So therefore I cannot factor this, so I don't really even need to do that. I can leave my answer the way I have it up here. If I want to factor the 2 out and then give that answer for the numerator, that's fine too. And looking at number 22, we want a common denominator. We need a 3 over here with the m minus 2. So I'm going to multiply the top by 3. And over here with the 3, I need the m minus 2. So I'm going to multiply the top by m minus 2. Again, my denominator is going to be m minus 2 times the 3. I'm going to put the 3 out in front. And here I'm going to distribute the 4. I get 4m minus 8. And then plus, so 5 times 3 is 15, so plus 15. And I'm going to get 4m plus 7 over the 3 times m minus 2. There's nothing there to factor out, and there is my answer. And we're done.